Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Melai Lopez, and I'm a program manager at Google. Rain has just talked to you about how to get a job, while Rika has discussed how to build your career and navigate your workplace. For my portion, I'm going to talk about the importance of DEI, or diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in the workplace, and how your involvement will make a difference in the lives of other trans women in your company or to those trans women who are going to join that company in the future. Now, we can probably start off with a scenario where you're not in a company that already has a DEI program or framework in place. If you're at least comfortable in that company, I would highly recommend that you try to at least initiate that dialogue by reaching out to the people who can put you in a position where you can introduce changes in the future. So, normally, you should be able to reach out to your supervisor, to your manager, or maybe to HR. As Rika has mentioned, companies are now starting to realize what has always been said in studies in the past, that diversity can only be a good thing in the workplace because it leads to better output, it leads to better productivity, among many other things. And there's a lot of companies that are very focused towards innovation. And now they are starting to realize that innovation can only come from a diversity of ideas. If you have people who all think alike, there's not going to be innovation that's going to come out of that, right? So innovation only comes from a diversity of ideas, and a diversity of ideas can only come from people who have different backgrounds, different experiences, and different cultures. Now, um, do try to reach out to someone who can help you introduce changes in the future. Now, when you're in a position to choose a company that you will join, or you're already in one that already has a robust DEI framework, then I would highly recommend that you get involved. You get involved in the DEI program there. Now, there are many companies right now that claim that they embrace diversity and they promote inclusion. You will easily find them during Pride Month. Ito yung mga companies na may pa may pa statement during Pride Month, and they would have their logos with the pa-frame nila sa Facebook. Now, if you're in a company like this, I think this is a good opportunity for you to be able to hold your company accountable to these statements that they make. Maybe these are statements that they make during Pride Month, or these are things that they are publishing in their mission, in their vision as a company, or maybe in their website. So try to take advantage of those opportunities to be able to hold them accountable. We can't really just allow them to just say these things and not back these up with, actions that can benefit us, right? So when they say that they embrace diversity, they promote inclusion, that means they should also be committed towards actions that are going to make the lives of their LGBTQ plus, especially trans women, to make their lives easier as they work in that company. Now, again, if there's already a diversity program in the workplace, try to reach out to the people who are behind it. See how you can help them improve their diversity program. And, for these bigger companies, there are these organizations called employee resource groups, or ERGs. Um, and for example, at Google, we have ERGs called Pride at Google, as well as Trans at Google, along with many other ERGs for women, for veterans, for persons with disabilities, for Black Googlers, and so on and so forth. Now, the reason why I mention these ERGs is because these groups, they are the ones who make it possible to influence policies and influence benefits packages for these underrepresented groups. specifically for Pride Ad and Trans Ad, they have been extremely instrumental in making sure that benefits are inclusive, even for those that normally are just reserved for cishet cishet couples and members of the workforce. So, for example, health insurance, we don't have to be officially married to be able to enroll our partners in our health insurance. Um, for baby bonding leave, also, this benefit does not just go out to people who give birth. Um, you can enjoy the baby bonding leaves benefit even if you get if you get your child through adoption, through surrogacy, or through fostering. So, this really just illustrates how everyone is able to enjoy the same kinds of benefits. For trans people specifically, Trans Ad and Pride Ad were able to recommend that um, these benefits are enjoyed by the trans members of the Google workforce. So, number one, Googlers, as well as their families, or if they have family members who are trans, that they get access to transgender and intersex medical advocacy. What this does is they're able to find gender affirming providers. They're able to provide the participants with a direct line to a physician that's well versed in transgender health. Another part of our package is that we have counseling made available to us. If we need to talk to someone about our transitioning, our about our journey towards discovering our authentic selves, there is counseling that's available for that. Hormonal therapy is also covered as part of our benefits, as well as gender affirmation surgeries. I know that this could sound very foreign to us in the Philippines, because we've always been told that these kinds of surgeries could not be covered by insurance because it's considered as cosmetic. But for these companies like Google, they acknowledge that these gender affirmation surgeries are not cosmetic, but in fact are medically essential for us in our as we live our authentic lives, right? So the message really here is that if you have the opportunity to be able to join these diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in your company, I would highly recommend that you do so. This could be your gift to yourself or to the future trans women in that are going to join that company, because then you would be able to live your most authentic selves without having to worry that you are feeling excluded or that you are not really embraced as part of the organization there, right? So do so. Join these DI programs. You don't know what kind of influence you can have until you join these initiatives. Um, I'll end it on that note. I wish you all the best, and thank you so much for listening.